Can you imagine? A 60-year-old man suddenly decides to walk 1,000 kilometers without any preparation to see a terminally ill old friend one last time. He firmly believes his sincerity can save his friend's life, never expecting he'll pay an even greater price himself. On the second day of his journey, light drizzle began falling from the sky. In the dampness and cold, he only managed to cover 8 miles. Not only were his feet covered in blisters, but his body reeked of sweat. He had no choice but to buy some toiletries, get a motel room, take a hot shower, and treat his foot injuries. That night, he slept incredibly soundly. The new day arrived. Jack picked up his toiletries and continued on. However, 2 days of exhaustion and his injured feet meant his steps were no longer as light as when he'd started. Reaching a farm, unbearably thirsty, Jack had to stop and ask for water. Seeing such a thirsty man, the farmer's wife looked utterly confused. Jack quickly explained he had a long way to walk. He just hadn't gotten the hang of it yet. The kind woman opened up to him. The simpler something is, the harder it actually is to do well. Raising children is especially like that. At the mention of children, scenes of his wife and son playing together suddenly flashed through his mind, but his expression was filled with sadness. That night, Jack called his wife again. This time she was the first to back down, saying her earlier words had been spoken in anger and weren't genuine. She hoped Jack would come home soon. But Jack on the other end of the line once again refused her request. His wife angrily hung up. After 3 straight days, Jack had only made it to the county seat. In a church, Jack bought a postcard to send to Annie. He wanted to use postcards to report his progress to her. He also bought a crystal pendant symbolizing hope, planning to give it to her in person. On the 4th day, setting out again, he soon felt his feet hurt unbearably. Each step felt like torture. This pain made him think of his son again. From his son's childhood until the day he got into Cambridge, he'd constantly pressured him, to the point where his son developed a drug habit. After that came endless arguments. Until one day when he came home from work, his son, overwhelmed by pressure, left this world. The more Jack thought about his son, the more mentally scattered he became. Unable to bear the pain any longer, he collapsed on the sidewalk. Fortunately, a passing woman kindly rescued him and cleaned his foot wounds. Jack rested at her home for 2 days. Before setting out again, the woman gave Jack a hiking backpack, cotton socks, and a compass. She said goodbye to Jack like an old friend and wished him success. Soon, Jack found his walking rhythm. He walked for another 2 weeks. One day, while eating at a restaurant, he casually struck up a conversation with a fellow diner about his trek. The man was surprised after hearing the story. Then, looking serious, he told Jack he was a doctor specializing in cancer. While he admired Jack's dedication, treating cancer wasn't something belief alone could accomplish. When someone has been admitted to a hospice, it basically means their life is nearing its end. The doctor's words plunged Jack into silence. He began to feel lost. He didn't know if what he was doing was right. Just as he was about to give up, he called the hospice. The sister there told Jack that Annie's condition had improved significantly recently. She showed everyone the postcards Jack had written. Some days she'd even stood at the door waiting for Jack. Learning that Annie's condition had improved because of him, Jack became determined to continue his trek forward.